Howdy, Alan Wigglex Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. So oh man, looks like maybe a zombie smashed up some cabinet there. So I am in the Shamway gathering supplies. I there is a few buildings over there that I would love to search, like the daycare. Uh, I don't want to bust that down. It just takes too long. And the tool shop and the shotgun messiah. But I felt like I should wait until my scavenging was a little higher. Just to make sure. What are you doing? He hates that painting. It's like, I hate this painting. And so I thought I'd come into the Shamway instead and grab some supplies there. Oh, I was like, what is going on with my vision? I just got dehydrated again. Having issues with the water supply here in the desert. But yeah, been well, I've been working, of course, but this weekend I was planning to finish off the seasons of 7 Days to Die, The Walking Dead that I haven't finished yet. Season 7, 8, 6. That's not the order they go in. 6, 7, and 8, which I still had to go this weekend. And wouldn't you know it, but there's a bunch of stuff comes on Netflix. So I'm like, oh well. I mean, I've got to watch season 2 of Making a Murderer first, right? I mean, it's only 10 episodes. I'd rather get through Making a Murderer's 10 episodes rather than, the 30, 40 episodes, whatever. What would that be? They're probably like 16 episodes each for 3 seasons, so that would be 48 episodes. It'd take a lot longer to get through 48 episodes than it is going to get through 10 episodes. So, yeah, I watched Making a Murderer season 2. Big fan of that criminal conspiracy stuff. Ooh, I got a really good basket there, 408. Just gonna go ahead and straight up eat that. And so yeah, it was good. It wasn't as good as season 1, I don't think. I feel like season 1 focused more on like, okay, I really like trials, I guess should be the correct thing. I really like seeing trials and like the criminal conspiracy stuff. Or criminal conspiracy is a thing, so it's not what I mean. I mean like the shady tactics done by lawyers and police officers to get what they want. I love watching stories on that stuff. And Making a Murderer is definitely a shady conspiracy kind of thing. The problem is that once they get to the point where they've made a documentary, I need more arrows. Once they get to the point where they've made a documentary out of it, it means it's probably already almost too late to do anything about what's happened. And and I mean, I don't watch like CSI or things like that, but You know, there's some things that went down in the investigation and making a murderer that I'm just like, these people investigating this are unbelievably incompetent. Uh, like, and I can't believe the stuff they got away with investigating was legal. Like, from my understandings of things like, and I don't have a degree in this or anything, so I'm not an expert, but my understanding is that when you go in with a search warrant, it's of limited scope. You know, there's only certain things you can do, certain places you can go, a time limit on how long you can take, and stuff like that. And that does not seem to be the case in this deal. And like they move the people who lived on the property off the property for multiple days while they wandered around this property and did not find evidence. And then later suddenly found evidence, you know. And it's like, well, they already searched all that stuff. I mean, they've got stuff like they searched a barrel, and they searched the barrel again, and then the third time they searched the barrel, that's when they found their evidence. And I'm like, it's a barrel. I don't think you get much more compact of an area to search than a barrel. I mean, why did it take you 3 tries to find evidence? That seems shady. And they don't take pictures of anything. On season 2, they made a comment. They brought in a different laboratory to do testing for the defense, and the guy from the other laboratory made a comment. He's like, I don't think I've ever seen a laboratory before, which is the main laboratory used by the police in this area. I've never seen a laboratory before not take photos of anything. And I'm like, yeah, it seems pretty common in this case. Like, they've got an area where they think there's evidence. Do they take photos? No, they just go in there with shovels and scoop it all into boxes. And then that way later they can be like, oh, well, you know, this is where we got it from. Maybe. And I'm like, that's just... I feel like you'd be more careful if you were supposed to be trained on gathering evidence. But yeah, it's interesting anyways. I really like that kind of stuff. I wish there was more of it on Netflix. I can't believe there aren't more documentaries like that stuff. I mean, there are, just you'd think that as popular as Making a Murderer was, that Netflix would be trying to acquire more documentaries that they could show on their service like that. Ooh. Drink the water. And then so yeah, so it took me like all week. Oh, I forgot. That's not really the zombie I'm looking at. I'm trying to shoot her through the doorway, but you can't. Oh. I couldn't even see that guy for a minute. His grayness blended in. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I didn't die. I don't know if that hit her in That one didn't. Psst. I'm over here, zombie. Um, but I did I did get through some of Walking Dead, and I gotta tell you, there's a couple characters on that show that I don't know how to feel about. Um, I'm not sure I like the chance at redemption storylines. Ooh, I could use that. Um, that happen on The Walking Dead. I I feel like some of the characters who get redemption storylines don't deserve them, and that all the stuff that has gone down, that maybe they just need to be done away with. uh, so, um, because every time one of these characters touches something, it goes horribly wrong. Almost every time. And so um, one of them's a big one for me that just rubs me the wrong way. And I like the actor and I like the concept of the character, but I hate the character. And the first one, though, not as much vitriol on my part, is Father Gabriel. They should have put a bullet in that dude's head when they first met him. Uh, he is nothing but trouble. It doesn't matter to me that he has done things. Oh, I was trying to collect leather. Apparently, I was wasting my time. I was just throwing leather on the floor for no reason. You know, dude, there's no door on this side for you. Looking for water. Probably should just go get water and some stones and make a campfire and cook up some clean water. Alright, let's go see if I can find some water to fill up my... Can't remember how I got in here. I keep looking at the doors. Let's see. Have I seen... There is water there. That's a good distance from where I'm at, though. But let's do it. Let's jog out there and... We'll, fill up my water jugs, and then we'll come back and make some water. So Father Gabriel, man, that dude. First off, I don't even understand. He locked his own people out of the church, so they all died. And somehow in his head, he blames that on the main group, even though they weren't there when it happened. And then he, like, throws a fit about how they're desecrating his church. And these cannibals steal, like, kidnap one of the characters and start eating him, and they get him back, and then the cannibals come for them, and they kill the cannibals. And Father Gabriel throws a fit about that too. And which I can understand, like, oh man, you shouldn't have killed them, you know, they're people. But on the other hand, they were cannibals who were kidnapping and eating people. So, um, you know, at the point they're at on the show, they don't have the luxury of criminal systems. There are no police. There are no prisons. What are you supposed to do with people who kidnap and kill people and eat them? And eating people is bad for you. Really bad for you. And I don't mean like oh man, that meat's too fatty. I mean, like, it makes you go insane. So, yeah, don't eat people. Um, but it does something with chemicals, if I remember correctly, in your brain. It's not that you're so broken up over it that you know. Oh, I didn't grab any stone. I can get stone though. Oh, I have some stone right there. What am I talking about? And so, yeah, that dude, they should have killed him. And then when they get to Hilltop, or no, not Hilltop, sorry. When they get to, I'll use that. I need a campfire, please. So when they get to Alexandria, then he poisons the mayor against them because he doesn't agree with how they've handled things. And so, because of that, I feel like he is part of the reason some of the terrible things that happened in Alexandria went down because he tried to force, well, not force, but he poisoned the people against the main group, and so they. I'm gonna go over here and loot this place, even though I said I wasn't going to. But I've got to see what kind of books I can get out of this daycare. Oop, I'm getting that weird texture thing again. And, oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. I just realized I only have 7 hit points. And, you know, and then, like... And then he's like, oh no, I understand now. I am totally on your side. And then he leaves the gate open and lets zombies into Alexandria. I mean, I don't think he did it on purpose, but he did it because he was not interested in any of that. And so, yeah, that's a dude I'm not sure I enjoy his redemption storyline. Uh, and then the main one for me is Morgan. That dude, that dude is something else. Now he's like, me and my terrible aim. He's like, oh, come on, that was aimed right at her head. He, he's like the first guy that Rick comes across right after Rick wakes up. And his kid hits Rick in the head with a shovel. And then he's like, no, don't kill him, he's a person. And so that's all nice. I mean, Rick was, of course, not at that point killing people like he does now. Well, currently on the show, at the point I'm on the show, he doesn't kill people. This is a daycare, right? I'm not looking at a... Nope, I don't know what this is. Oh, it is a daycare. Okay. Yeah, I forgot they had the little... overhang there. Little carport. Whoop. Should have shot this guy, not that one. So, you know, all cool and whatever. And then he knew his wife was a zombie and knew that she was following them. And so but he couldn't bring himself to kill her. And so I guess I need to jump ahead. And then we find out that oh, and then we find out that his son gets zombified by his mother. And so he goes all crazy and he starts killing everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a zombie or a person, he kills you. And so he went from fairly normal guy who couldn't kill his wife because he was emotionally attached to her, makes sense. But then he flips out when his son gets turned and starts killing everybody. Comes across a group of people, kills them. Comes across a group of zombies, kills them. Okay. And then, oh man, this is working out really good. I'm finding a schematic in every single one of these. That's crazy. Did I get that schematic? No. And, so then Rick comes across him, and, while he's all crazy, and, Rick leaves him alive. Sure, makes sense. Rick knows him. Rick knows he was a good person at one point. And so he lives, but he continues on killing anything that moves. And then he runs into this dude, and this is where, hey, you weren't there 2 minutes ago. Where'd you guys come from? This is my problem with this game right here. I cleared this. Oh, maybe you guys came out of the... No, because this guy came out of that bathroom. I don't know where these guys came from. Magically appearing zombies. I hate those guys. And, so then... Heck, that one's got the same loot. Actually, I think that one had the suit jacket to go with the pants. Oop. Now, you weren't here 2 minutes ago. Stop spawning in zombies. Where did you come from? Stop spawning in zombies. Will you die? How many blows to the head does it take to kill a zombie? Because... Oh, good. Yeah, just shoot that pole behind her. Oh, well, did you see that arrow go right through her head? Will you guys die? I have found the super zombies. These are definitely super mutants and not zombies. They won't die. Okay. And, you know, so then Morgan runs into this dude in the woods. And that dude isn't any better than Morgan. That dude was terrible as well. Where did you come from? I've been in here for... I would like to loot this place, please. Can we please stop spawning in zombies who are not in this room? Okay, I see that zombie. Okay, there are no more zombies in here. Alright? No more zombies. None. Now stop it. And, so you got this guy living in the woods who... Okay, I will grant that one may have wandered in from outside. Who worked as a psychologist for a prison, and his wife and daughter were killed by a serial killer, and he then kidnapped that serial killer and took him to the woods and killed him. And so he's not a great guy, but doing so caused him to switch to Aikido, which to him meant don't kill anybody, period. And like they were taking the wallets of zombies they had killed so they could give them proper funerals. But there was so little zombie anything where he lived that it wasn't that big of a deal. Like he was trying to make cheese, he'd become a vegetarian, and so so he took an extreme reaction to what he had done. I feel. I will grant you, not killing people makes sense, but there are times, especially when there's no luxury of a police system, that you might have to. And so he he teaches this to Morgan, and Morgan doesn't want to learn it. I mean, he learns some of it, but not all of it. And because of that, the dude gets bit by a zombie and dies. And that's Morgan's fault because of Morgan's actions. And I mean, did he take the zombie to bite the guy? No. But would the guy have been bitten had Morgan not been who Morgan is? No. And then after Morgan feels bad because he got that guy killed, Morgan adopts his no-kill policy lifestyle. Did I loot these? Yep. And then when he runs into Rick's group, finds out that they don't follow his policy of don't kill people. And then, oh, nice. And then Morgan proceeds to get people killed. Because he decides he's not going to kill people, but he is going to interject himself into a battle for Alexandria. And I kind of want to run all the way back to my base, way over here, where my forge is at, so I can make this chest piece. I at least need to go get some water from my base over here, though. And so Morgan lets like 5 people go who then try to kill Rick. Because remember, you shouldn't kill anybody, you should let everybody live. And then they immediately go and try to kill Rick. So had Rick been killed at that point, that would have directly been Morgan's fault. Because he had the chance to stop those people. But Carol, who, as I have discussed before, is my favorite character maybe on the show. I'm not sure because she has not improved. I really liked her in seasons 4 and 5. 6 to me, end of 5, beginning of 6 is the worst points for me personally in the show. I hate the storyline where Beth dies in the hospital. I like the storyline. I hate that Beth dies in the hospital. I really hate. I couldn't remember what happened, and so I remember she died, and so I looked it up. And on the Wikipedia page, I don't know who wrote it, but they wrote that it was an accident. It was an accident that she was killed. The crazy woman in charge of the hospital was holding a gun to her, and then when she had the chance to do the right thing, She opted to force a person back into her servitude, and so Beth stabbed her. Now, is Beth partially responsible for her own death? Yes. Um, but that cop then shot her, and then she's like, "Oh, I didn't mean to shoot her," but she did shoot her, and she did intend to shoot people, or she didn't intend to shoot people, but that was on the table because she had her gun out and she had it aimed at people, and so it wasn't that accidental. It wasn't like, oh, my gun went off and accidentally shot her. No, she had her gun out to possibly shoot at Rick and his people, and then shot one of Rick's people. And then I think Daryl shoots her in the head, and the person's like, oh, and then that forced him to shoot her in the. No, no, no. She killed Beth. She got a bullet in the head, and I don't feel that was the wrong choice. Um, and then we get to Alexandria, and the people in Alexandria are, anyways. This is way off topic of Morgan. Let's go back to Morgan. So Morgan, so he's at Alexandria, right? And I enjoy the Alexandria stuff, sort of. I don't like the people necessarily who are in Alexandria because they make horrible decisions, um, and so I don't know, just and then Morgan shows up and they get attacked by the wolves who are. I'm still not sure. I'm still not sure. Even watching this show, I'm not sure. They're either an associated group with the Saviors, or they're Saviors who call themselves something different. Um, and it's hard to know from the way like Negan talks how they were related to Negan, because he has such a elaborate uh, way of speaking. Um, and But then Morgan's there, and Carol's killing the wolves, and then the people wolves, and then Morgan's like, "Oh, quick, you've got to go because if you stay, they'll kill you." And he opens the door and lets them out, and then they go and they try and kill Rick. But Rick, I mean it's a show, but Rick saw him out of the corner of the mirror, and so was ready for them and killed them instead. Um, but had they not returned, who knows when or how Negan would have found the group. And then, because of the fallout from some of that stuff, the group gets separated. And because Morgan basically, from my point of view, talks Carol into a nervous breakdown. And uh, oh, beautiful. I was worried about running out of ammo, but not now. And so he starts her on this path where she's questioning herself, and because she's questioning herself, she can't be around the group in her mind because she's a killer. And as Morgan has pointed out repeatedly, she's a killer, and that his way is better because you're not supposed to kill people. Uh, don't kill people. Don't kill people. Don't kill people. Don't kill people. You're a terrible person for killing people. There's always a better way. You don't have to kill people. You don't have to kill people. You don't have to kill people. And so he keeps one of the wolves alive, and then uh, and then so he's got this wolf, and he brings the Alexandria's doctor down to work on him, and zombies get inside, and so while the zombies are inside, that wolf winds up helping the doctor, and so Morgan to Carol tells her that his way is better because had he not brought the wolf in, then the doctor would not have been treating the wolf, and instead she would have been out amongst the zombies by herself and would have died because that guy saved her from the zombies. Except that she wouldn't have been there had she not been treating the wolf that Morgan kept alive. The wolf who then turned around and betrayed them. Uh, because actually I think he died at that point. But Morgan had come across him earlier once before. And so I feel like Morgan bears some responsibility for the assault on Alexandria too, even though it was Aaron's book that ultimately brought them. Uh, but Morgan leaving that guy alive probably led them in that direction. Um, but anyway, so he tells Carol, right? This is his thing that because he saved the wolf, the doctor was still alive to save Carl. Um, but you know what? Had that wolf not been there, the doctor would not have been anywhere near that stuff, and she wouldn't have been affected by the things that dude had to save her from. So that doesn't make any sense. And then when Carol completely loses it and leaves and starts flipping out, and I think part of what happened to Carol was because of the or the wolf attack. She had to kill someone that she had started to see as a friend. And I feel like that was probably the actual start of her thing, but it didn't help that Morgan was constantly in her ear going, "Oh, you can't kill people, you can't kill people." And then because Carol left, the group splits up trying to find Carol, and so they weren't where they should have been, and they didn't have Carol to help them, and they were scattered all over the place when Negan and his people went down, and so I feel like things would have been different had Carol been in her right mind. And then, oh man, I don't have an axe. I don't even have enough stone to make an axe. Dang it, I've got to go back to my base. I've got to go back and get more iron. I hate being this low level. This is the direction of my base, right? Yep. And so then they're out and about, and Morgan and this dude face off over Carol, and Morgan shoots him with a gun. And I'm like, are you kidding me, Morgan? You have been telling people that never to kill anybody, that there's always a better way, and then what's your first option as soon as you can't figure out what to do with your stick? Pull a gun and shoot somebody. So not only are you responsible for most of this going down, but you're also a huge hypocrite. And so then Rick and his people, they don't have Carol. And I mean, makes a huge difference. So no Carol. Group split up. No Morgan. And now, of course, I'm on season 7, so there's no at this point, there's no Abraham, there's no Glenn. Shortly, there'll be no Sasha, because I've at least made it that far. And, yeah. Oh, is this not the right direction? I need to go... Oh, that's my base right there. But, yeah, so he super irritates me, and I don't think his character deserves the arcs that it gets, I guess. I don't think he deserves to come back from what he's done. I mean, he's probably going to. He's probably dead at this point. Who knows? I haven't got that far. Like I said, I did not watch season 8 because it was on my DVR that I lost, and season 9 just started. But yeah, that was That was my weekend, was being irritated by Morgan and watching Making a Murderer season 2. So, all right, with that, click like if you like, subscribe, share, and catch the next one. We'll talk to you later.